All right. So we gonna be testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Let me go on over here and test the audio. Let me go on over here and test the audio. See what y'all got going on. What's up, Coco? What's up, sis? All right, we good to go. We good to go. What's up, y'all? All right, let me put the chat over here. Live chat. There we go. All the stuff I gotta get done. Sure wish I had an assistant that could do all this stuff for me. That would be amazing. All right, here we go. Boom. All right. What up, sis? How's it going? Sak passe. Thank you for being a channel member. Empress, the Queen of Wands Tarot, welcome back to both of you. Thank you both for being channel members. Ebony Fly, welcome. And we having a reunion. What's up, family? Well, thank y'all for being channel members as well. I'm glitching over here. Let me see if I can fix that. All right, there we go. Tried to make sure everything was great. What's up, Natalie? What's up, Mariah? Hey, Crystal. Crystal says, yay, finally made it. Yeah, you made it. What up, Ruth? Thank you for being a channel member. Nikia, hello. And Lasagna. Lasagna says, no. Lasagna, thank you for being a channel member. I keep forgetting I keep looking at the old camera, which is going to be the new camera if it messes up. You know, if it gets too hot, had to crank the air up. Because I remember that's what went on with this camera. I think it got too hot, which is why I stopped using it because it would like cut on and off. So we started experiencing that, y'all. We just gonna go on back over, right? We're just gonna go on back over. So let's see what we got going on here. All right. Okay. All right. We good. All right. So if y'all looked at the title of this video, and of course it's going to be Q&A. Absolutely. It's going to be Q&A. You know, I love doing that with you guys. But so first things first, if you're going to ask a question, please type Q, a capital Q, and then your question, because you know it's when the chat is rolling, my eyes will key in on the Q, and I won't get so lost with the questions. But if y'all look, y'all will notice the title is pre-podcast ghost stories, because like I said, I'm trying to launch a podcast. I have a podcast already, but I'm kind of trying to relaunch it, rebrand it, which I mean, it was doing great. It was doing great. And I'm still going to do it. So those of you who are already subbed to my podcast, new episodes are going to be coming back out. But I want to do something else, something that's more broad scope and with co-hosts. And I wanted to start with some ghost stories, right? And y'all, for some reason, love listening to me rant and rave and listening to me tell stories. So I said, you know what? Why don't I kick off the podcast with some of my own stories? Listen, I'm over here, and I promise you, I'm not creeped out or freaked out. I was thinking about some of the things I wanted to share with my, I don't want to say spiritual journey, because I think that term is like so played out. I'm on my spiritual journey. Shut up, nobody care. But you know, I've been walking this walk for a while, and I've seen a bunch of things. And thinking back on what I wanted to share with y'all tonight, I did get the kind of heebie-jeebies a little bit. And what's happened is I look over here, and my door, I hear thump, 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 thump. Malaikum salam, Seek. What's going on? I got that, Seek. I got that. And I got you. So I hear a thump, thump at my door. And I'm like, oh, man, I done already attracted something. But nah, I see a little white paw reaching up under the door. It's that gum Lulu looking up under the door. So this is what I want you guys to do. I'm gonna say it at the beginning of this video so I can actually get y'all to help me out with this. Okay, my email is papa_lou@outlook.com. Okay, again, papa Fanny_Lou at Outlook.com. Or you can message me on WhatsApp. Okay? And what I want you guys to do is send me your ghost stories so that myself, um, Dark Prophet Nick, and Lex, Prophetic Lex, when we start recording the podcast, that we could say your name if you like, shout you out, or we could just read your ghost story, your haunted, your paranormal story, and it doesn't have to just be ghosts. It could be spirituality based. It could be cryptid. Whatever you've encountered, we want to read your story. We want to hear your story, and then we will go from there. Okay. All right. So that's what we want to do. That is what we want to do. All right. So without further ado, let's get this thing started. I'm gonna kick off some questions. I'm gonna kick off some questions first, and then we'll get into the stories. And I'm gonna start because some of you have heard this story already, but there's a lot of new people here. So we're gonna talk about the haunted house cleansing that I did because I think it was Brock asked about my experiences with emails. I'm not, Lord have mercy. I'm trying to read Voltaire in the chat, and it's just messing up. Voltaire, it is Papa_Lou at Outlook.com. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna type it. My WhatsApp number. Email. There we go, y'all. There we go. And there. It is now pinned to the top of the chat. My WhatsApp as well as my email, okay? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna answer some questions. And then I'm gonna tell y'all. I'm gonna start off with the uh, it was a haunted house that I cleansed and ended up slam dunking the spirit into a coconut. A lot of you have heard that story. Some of you haven't. So it's an oldie but a goodie. So I'm gonna tell that story after I get to these questions. Okay. All right. I got my coffee. And I promise y'all, tonight we will be heading over to Kick because y'all have been asking me some questions about some of your favorite spiritualists. And I'm like, okay, some of them are good. Some of them could work on some things. And the thing is, you're supposed to do what's right even when nobody's around, right? Now, we all will fall short of the glory of God. And I say this to say, no matter how delicately you may do it, some people, if you criticize them, they are going to take it so seriously. And I did a critique of a worker. It was like years ago, right? Years ago, when I first figured out how to do the whole, commentary split screen type thing. And so what I did was, I critiqued her work. I forget her name. And when I tell you, she got so mad. And I remember saying that her work had good bones. It just needed to be fleshed out a little bit. And I remember saying it was my opinion. But she got mad. So what I'm saying is, you know, if you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, you might as well go out with a blaze of glory. But you're supposed to do what's right, even if nobody. So when we go over the Kick, y'all, I'm still not messy there, even though their guidelines are a little looser than over here. Okay? And my Kick username is the Broken Prophet. I'll after enough people get my email, then I will go ahead and put it pinned to the top of the chat. But anyway, let's get on this story, shall we? Shall we? But I'm gonna answer these questions first. Voltaire Alexander said, "The love spell you do, does it only work on people you know, or can it work on anyone, such as a celebrity crush?" That's a good question. That is a good question because the answer to that is it will work, but it also won't work. Here's why. Remember, we don't manifest things. We don't create something out of nothing. All we do is draw and we attract. So when it comes to a celebrity crush, look how many leaps and hurdles have to be done away with to get you to them. Unless, of course, you are also a celebrity, which I doubt because you said your celebrity crush, meaning they are something that you yourself are not. For instance, man, I love me some Paula Abdul. But I've been looking at them thighs since, man, shoes up, man. Even though she's skinny now, but Paula Abdul was not all that skinny, y'all. She was not all that skinny back in the day. She was thick. She was thick. Now, I could do, and that's with all my power, the great and powerful Oz, right? I could do a love draw on Paula Abdul. But do you know what would have to happen for that? You know, the spirit universe, check this out, would have to somehow get her in South Georgia. And not only am I in South Georgia, beloveds, I'm in the country. So I'd have to go to the city and then, get us together some kind of way. I try not to go into the city, and she for dang sure ain't coming out. So you know how long that would take? We both be old and decrepit. By the time I get Paul Abdul, I wouldn't be able to do nothing but just lay on her stomach. Just lay my head on her stomach. Now, if I do a love drawn work on my old raggedy neighbor, but she'd be over here like so yeah, it'll work, but the amount of time it may not. You see what I'm saying? You understand what I meant by that? What up, Hoodoo J? How's it going? What up, Shree? How's it going? All right. So hopefully that answers your question. Most of the workings that you do are going to work. Knowledge, training, and experience just dictates the speed. Just dictates the speed. And it's funny you asked that question, Voltaire, because back during the Obama administration, this lady, bless her heart, and I love the Atlanta Orisha community. Y'all are special. Special little, everybody is Oshun and Ogun Tink Tinks. Love y'all. But she was like Boogeyman, because the entire Orisha community up there used to call me the Boogeyman. They're like, Boogeyman, you think you could do a love spell with me and Barack Obama? And I said I did chuckle a little bit. And she was like, what? That Atlanta, what? And I was like, ma'am. See, if it was now, I'd say beloved. But I was like, ma'am, we're talking about the leader of the free world who has a beautiful, educated wife. Okay? And I'm not saying anything about you, but you live in them brick apartments. And there's the stamp situation and whatnot. So I said, ma'am, if we did that working, either you would have to elevate or he would have to fall drastically. So how about we go down to Lennox and you find somebody that look like Barack Obama, and then we work him. Cause that'll probably happen before you like 40. So yeah, it'll work, but it's gonna take you some time. All right. Black Queen Genius 7, did you find me on Kick? And it's Kick. I'm glad you got it. All right. So anyway, let's see. Lasagna says, hey, Prophet, I'm doing your allspice work. And does it matter if the allspice is whole or ground? Good question. No, it doesn't. And how long do I leave the picture in the allspice? You just scalding it. So it don't have to be left in there. You just scalding it. What's up, Oliver? Hold on, let me. Roses, thank you so much for hitting the Cash App. And tell mommy I said hello. Now, let me close all this out so maybe we can get some of them alerts to come on through. All right. What's up, Oliver? How's it going? Natalie, welcome back. Okay, so let's get to these questions. Look, y'all like not a love spell on the commander in chief. Yep. Black Queen. Oh no, wait. Did I miss any questions? Hold on. I know I missed some. And after I done told y'all to put a Q in there, I'm still missing them. And if y'all look, I'm trying to get that silver play button. So if you are watching and you are enjoying the stream, you're enjoying the content, go ahead and subscribe. I'd appreciate that. All right, let's see what else we have here. I'm glad. Oh, hope you're feeling better, Roses. You know, I missed you. Hope you're feeling better. Voltaire says one day I'll be a celebrity. Okay. All right, I'll be looking out. Mariah says, question, your work to separate two friends using a black cat and dog hair thrown on their property, but they're platonic and don't live together. What do I do with the I did not say on their property? I said somewhere where they'll come into contact with it. You can take that and if they work together. And really, it's only one of them because although it takes two people to engage in a fight, it only takes one to start it. So throw it where one will come in contact with it, or walk over it, or walk near it. All right. Coco says special kind of special. Listen, I love the Atlanta Orisha community. Shout out to Ile and Egbeti Walade. I love y'all. But y'all some special folks up there. I don't have to say that. Shree said, you got to tell us why they call you the boogeyman. Okay. So, it's why they call me the boogeyman. Because, for the longest, none of them would do any aggressive type workings. And I don't think it had anything to do with skill because they had a couple of people up there that were skilled. They had one crazy lady up there. What was her name? Dang, I forget her name. But she was a palera as well. You know, but I don't. Everyone was just trying so hard to be nice because you have to understand the spiritual climate in Atlanta. You had a lot of people that were tired of being street pharmacists. You had people who like and you know and there's nothing wrong with being a dancer, but some of the ladies who entered dancing, you know, were they all weren't like Diamond from Players. They all weren't trying to work their way through college, right? They all weren't trying to work their way. They some of them were just trying to work, and they were using the assets that they had. Some of them didn't just dance, you know. So there were a lot of people who really had a rough go of things, right? Had a rough go of things, and when they found the Orisha tradition, for a lot of them, I will say they came to it with open hearts because it seemed like the world had marginalized them and turned its back on them. And here was, hey, come back to your roots. You can be part of a family. This Ile, this Egg is part of our family. And so a lot of them, but so they, you know, they would get bathed, get their lekes, and that part of it was beautiful. They were just trying to like do things the right way. You know, I left, you know, the game bang. I left all this behind me. I'm just gonna wear white and do what's right. But with that being said, they still wanted that work. And word travel. And here's the thing, I was always like, listen, I was like, look we just keep this to ourselves, right? I got you. Don't worry about it. We just keep this to ourselves. Next thing you know, bring, hey, is this the boogie? So after a while, it was this dude who I used to call Orisha two. No, he dressed like Orisha Mr. T, but you know, he was like Orisha Tupac because that's what he looked like, Tupac. But he had like a million beaded necklaces on, right? And he was like, "Oh shoot, so you the boogeyman everybody been talking about?" Because when in my younger days, I was that's the sound of me knocking heads off. But now I'm kinder and gentler. Hamna harehekyo. So that's the story, Cherie. That is the story. Black Queen. I said I knew about Babalao in Atlanta. They gave his Apete B, not the Herp Derps. Oh Lord, they are also wilding on a different level with that up there. Not necessarily the Herp Derps, but you know everyone enjoying everyone. Mm. All right, Cheryl, gotcha. What's up, Cheryl? Thank you for being a channel member. Says not a love spell on the commander in chief. Yeah, that's what she wanted. That's what you wanted. Black Queen Genius 7. That's a lot. I'm just gonna call you I'm just gonna call you BQ. No, nah. Can you do a webinar on elixirs and spells that are put in food and drink? Now that is a webinar idea. And the reason I say that because I always ask for webinar ideas. And people will be like, "Can you tell me how to get that bitch named Keisha off my back?" And I'm like, yeah, people love giving me ideas that only apply to them. But that's actually a good idea. I like that. All right. All right. Let's see what else. What else do we have here? Did I miss anything? Did I miss anything? Okay. All right. So let me tell y'all about this hoodoo house cleansing that I did. But look, let me look. Crystal says I tried the juniper berry working to break the wheel, but couldn't get the berries to stick. Was there another working to break a wheel? No. You're gonna go back and you're gonna do that one. Just heat the wax, place the berry on there, let the wax cool, and the berry will stick. Okay? We know we no that see stuff has gotten too easy for too long. We've been too long for too long, and I can't. Why? This stuff just triggers in my head. But yeah, just take a lighter, heat the wax, and then stick the berry and hold it. Hold it. Because sometimes you may get, I just press it until it sticks. Right? But yeah, you can do that. You'll be all right. I got you. You're going to be all right. Okay. So, in the Atlanta area, I was pretty well known in certain circles. Um, you better, Jay. And so there was a lady who was very well known as well, but she worked in like the upper scale white shop. It's called dang. What's the name of that shop? Phoenix and Dragon. If you're in the Atlanta area, you know Phoenix and Dragon, right? They sell like occult metaphysical bookstores. My grandma used to take me there all the time because I liked like some of the weird stuff. I like seeing what the white people did, right? I like seeing what the white people did. So, this lady worked there, and I mean, shoot, she was like one of the first workers I ever seen who was making six figures, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, is you like?" Okay, look, we need to collaborate. Da, 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 da. I'm like, okay, all right, cool, cool. I forgot how I met her, or whatever. I forgot how I met her. So she's like, listen, okay, I do want to preface this with she was telling me all the stuff that she did up there. Yeah, she was straight up scamming them folks, and I couldn't stand that. I couldn't stand that. She's doggone telling people they needed exorcisms, and it was just so. And she was telling me the stuff she was doing, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure she believed it, but she wasn't doing nothing but putting people through trauma. But anyway, I digress. She ran into something that she thought was nothing because that was her whole stance. Like these folks just crazy. And I'm like, why are you in something you don't believe in? But that's how a lot of these marketeers are. And she was like, listen, because she liked the way the boy looked. She's like, look, I'm gonna put you on. This person came into the store and they're saying they have like a haunted house and they want it cleansed. I don't have the time. So you want to go over there and do it? I think she was paying like $300. I think she was paying like $300, which back then for me I was like, what 300? Because I've been working with my grandma and grandma, back then they didn't do all that. So I was like, okay. So she gave me the lady's contact number. I contacted the lady. I could already tell she was palm colored because she was very chipper on the phone. So she was explaining to me what was going on in her house. Instantly, I smell cinnamon. And those of you who've had a reading with me, a consultation, I've told a bunch of you that my spiritual tale, like if y'all say, Prophet, I've been hexed. If I don't smell cinnamon, you are not hexed. Okay, hex, curse, jinx. If you've taken my webinar, you know there's a difference. Hexes, curses, and jinxes are totally different. They can lead to the same thing though. And I smelt it, and it was pungent. And I was like, good God Almighty. Woo. It was so pungent. And then the things she started to describe to me that were going on in that house made, listen, okay, can y'all see? The camera's better. Look, the hair is standing up again. The hair on my arm is standing up again. Because I'm thinking about that first phone conversation. Her mother was staying with her. And her mother had monitoring equipment because she'd been sick. And the machinery would regularly cut off. And they'd had workers come out because of course that's serious. And had units replaced. No one could find anything wrong with them, but they would replace them anyway. They would still turn off. It's almost as if whatever was doing it did not want the monitors and alarms to go off. They were seeing shadow people in the house. Things were being moved. And the part that got me was she said that what had prompted her to seek spiritual help was I'm getting the chills. She had not been able to leave the like her stove. And at first I'm like, okay, you might be a little in the head a little bit, right? You can't leave your stove. But it was just something about it. I knew, you can hear in somebody's voice that they are not bull jiving you. And she wasn't bull jiving. Now, just because somebody's not bull jiving doesn't mean that it's not false, okay? Someone can be a little lulu, and they believe it completely, doesn't make it real. But that's that pungent smell of cinnamon, the hair on my back started rising. I knew something was up. Now, it's funny we talk about the Atlanta Orisha community because, I knew a lot of them well. I knew who was about that business and who wasn't. There was a friend of mine who was a part of that community. And I knew that she was struggling, but she also wanted to learn the work. And so I called her up and I was like, hey, I have this house cleaning I'm going to go do. There's something there, but it's probably nothing. So, we'll go through, we'll clean the house. You'll see how I do it. And then, easy peasy. I'll split the money with you, right? Cause I knew she was struggling. That 150, hey, that'll help, right? It'll help. So, we'll get the lady's address, and I'm like, man, what? It was up in Buckhead, old Buckhead, not this new crime-ridden Buckhead, but old money Buckhead. If you're not familiar with the Atlanta area, Buckhead is where the old money lives, like modern day mansions and castles live in, are up in Buckhead, and she stayed up in that area. Now, gave my friend who was part of the Orisha community the address. I packed my bag. It wasn't this one, but it was similar. Y'all seen my bag before. It wasn't that one. It was similar, right? And I've got my Florida water. I've got my holy water. I'd already bundled up my cleansing herbs. My white sage, not the burning sage, the garden sage. The stuff that grows that you season with. That fresh mint, rosemary. I'm ready. I'm ready. Got my sword. If you from the South, you know what I mean when I say I got my sword. And I set off. Plugged it into the GPS. Boom. Y'all, the GPS went cattywampus. It was sending me every which way. And at one point, I'm going back home. So I call old girl and I said, hey, I'm running late. Something is wrong with my GPS. I look, just stay out front. I'll be there. She said, Lou, mine started acting up too, and it damn near wanted to send me back home. And I said, ho, here we go. And I almost called her back and said, don't even worry about it. I'll deal with this myself. Something told me not to, and I'm glad I listened to it. So some kind of way we pull up to the house, right? And I had told her earlier, I said, look, if you get there before me, don't pull right up to it. Pull back and we'll just approach together just in case, because, sometimes people are a little cattywampus. So if you ever decide to do this professionally, understand that sometimes it's not spiritual, it is organic. So be safe at all times, people. Be safe. So, we pull up or whatever. She's dressed in all white from head to toe, which was beautiful because that's a deep chocolate sister, boy. So dressed in all white, stark contrast, loved it. But I told her, I said, this ain't no for some reason I always like to point out to them that what they were doing engaged in with me wasn't no Orisha stuff. And I love the Orisha. It's just the practitioners. But y'all, when we walked up to the house, I swear it felt like the house was watching us. And she kind of reached and grabbed like a little kid, a little kid get scared, they'll reach up and grab her hand. She like did that no look like, I tell y'all what it was. Mama's here, mama's in the chat. Y'all know what it is. When y'all just reaching and trying to feel for where the kid is, because maybe you see a car coming, or maybe you see something like a dog, so you just reach to put your hand on. That's what she did. It was like instinctual. Where are you? Okay, here you are. And she said something is looking at us. Now, those old houses, Coco will tell you that they're big windows everywhere facing the street. Now, I'm not going to lie and say I saw apparitions in the windows, but I felt them. I felt watched. And she felt watched too. And I'm like, oh. Now, we get to the door and it opens before we have a chance to knock. And it's the lady, super pale, palm colored, bright red hair. She was I won't say she was beautiful, but she was pretty. She was pretty. But she looked really haggard and tired. And she was like, "Hey, Papa Lou, da, 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 da. I was so happy to meet you." And she came in for the hug, and I hit her with the handshake. And if you don't know what that means, because listen, you've been in what I now know and feel to be a haunted house. You ain't about to put that stank on me. You ain't about to put it on me. So she came in, and doggone, look, hey, my hand bumped the chest because she was coming in. Ooh. I was like, oh, hey, all right. I'm going to dap it up. She invites us in. At that point, and if y'all been over the kick, we make that TD Jakes joke. But I honestly felt like that house at that moment when she closed that door behind us, that I felt like I had been swallowed up. I felt like I'd been swallowed. It's kind of like the air just sucked us in, like. And now, after all these years thinking back, I know what I felt. I couldn't put my finger on it then. You know how something happens and you can't put your finger on it? It takes years and years. Certain things we take for granted. The sounds from the street, birds chirping, airplanes overhead. When she closed that door, all that stopped. There were windows everywhere. I mean, unless she had gone through the expense of soundproofing that entire house, I should have still heard some outside noises. Looking back, once she shut that door, it was like gone, nothing. My friend's like, all she did was exhale, and I said, cleared my throat. Black folks, y'all know we just had a whole conversation just then. She goes, and I go, she said, "Nog," and I was like, "Yeah." That's what those sounds meant. She was like, "Nog," and my grunt was like, "Yeah." You feel that? So now we're in the house. She said, well, I'm going to take you on a tour. And I said, great, because I want to see everything. We start upstairs because, like most houses in Atlanta, the front door is the middle level, right? And then you can either go upstairs or downstairs. At this point, I don't know there's a downstairs. But we go upstairs. She shows me her kids' rooms or whatever. Look like normal kids' rooms. But her teenager had a bunch of occult items. Some crystals, some pendulums, pentagrams, and a bunch of occult books. Okay, okay, no worries, no worries. We get downstairs, we go through our library. There's like an occult book section. I'm like, okay, all right, okay. We get to the kitchen, y'all. Remember, I told you, she said she was not been able to leave the stove. Guys, we get to her kitchen. At the stove, there's plates of food, multiple cups, ashtrays piled up with cigarette butts. Y'all, you could tell she has been spending considerable amounts of time at this dang on stove. And I'm like, what in the hell? So then she goes, let's go down to the basement. And I'm like, oh, whoa, a basement. Y'all, so we go to the door. And she's like, it's not finished. I said, yeah, don't worry about it. We go down the steps. If going into the house was me being swallowed, going down those steps was being digested. The air got real thick. I have asthma. And I'm like, I'm feeling the pressure. But I look at my friend, she's feeling the pressure too. The old houses in Atlanta have true basements. If you don't know what a true basement is, probably because you're young. A true basement is a hole dug into the ground. See, now houses don't have true basements. They lay a slab and then they build a garage and then they have steps that walk up. The front door is actually the second level. A true basement is when they dig a hole in the ground. This had a true basement. And I'm looking around, I'm like, thinking, because, let me back up. The walls were unfinished, meaning there was like, there may be drywall over here, red clay, just earth walls. Remember I told you they just dig a hole. Earthen walls over here. I can see little cracks where there's light from outside at this level. So here's like the dirt level. Well, here's the dirt level, and then the house starts here, and you can kind of see light from outside in the gap. Y'all, I'm thinking I'm seeing possums and raccoons because I'm seeing. But then I'm noticing where they're running is a beam. There's no way an animal could go, and this should have accompanied some sound, kicking up some dirt, something. Nothing. I said, "Oh my God!" And then I look, and I don't know how I didn't see this before, but there was a door that goes nowhere. And she was like, "Yeah, that came with the house." I'm getting chills. She said that came with the house. I said, "Okay. Well, what's behind it?" She says nothing. I said, "This is a door that goes nowhere." She said, "Absolutely, absolutely yes." She said, "The door goes nowhere. Open it and see." She said, "We tried not to open it because I just feel weird." She said, "I've only opened it once, and that was a few months ago." I said, "Is that when everything started?" She said, "Come to think of it." I opened up the door. Why? Because I'm a big dummy, like Fred Sanford used to call Lamont. I'm a big dummy. I open up the door. I feel a. The door went nowhere. You open up the door and there's a wall of dirt. That's it. Right there. Now there's a little crack where you can wiggle, but you're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. Something hit me, but I couldn't put my finger on it. So she's like, "Yeah, that's it." And my homegirl's like, "Yeah, let's get upstairs." I said, "All right, cool." We go upstairs, y'all. Then it dawns on me. That door that led to nowhere, directly above it was the stove. where she had been stuck and not able to move. So I said, all right, shoot, I'm getting my game face on. I said, all right, look, I'm doing the bird man, like, whew, yeah, we about to do this. We about to do this thing. Like we about to do this. So I break out my herbs, break out my roots and whatnot. I give some bundles to her, pray over them and bless them. Get them, get the bundles wet with the Florida water and the holy water, right? And I tell her, I said, follow my lead. This is what we're gonna do. You're gonna follow me around a couple of rooms, and then I'm gonna send you off. You're gonna do some yourself. So she follows me, and I've told y'all my method of house cleansing before. I tell the homeowner ahead of time. I say, open up all the drawers, all the doors, all the cabinets, everything, right? And she had done most of it, and she went around and started opening stuff because she said, her kids and housekeeper had gone behind her and closed them, no problem. And the reason I do that is, cleansing a house spiritually is like herding sheep. They're gonna run everywhere, and you don't want them to be hiding anywhere. So what up, Ava? So what you do is you have everything open so that you can cleanse that area. Just shake the holy water and the Florida water as you pray, and then you shut the door. Then you make the mark of the cross. That way, you've ran them out of there, and they can't go back. It's like you're herding them to an area. Y'all, when we got started, all hell broke loose. When we got started, all hell broke loose. When I tell you, there were shadow people running to and fro. And because see, it's such a big house, you can look down the hall, and you looking down the hall, and there's somebody going, whoop. You like, what? Then you look this way, whoop. And it was so overt. It was one of those things where you can't deny it. You can't say, "Oh, maybe it's a trick of my eyes. Is I'm getting old." Like, no, here's shadow people walking. At one point, I'm here walking upstairs. I said, "Who else is here?" And she's like, "Nobody." But I noticed a change start to come over her. But anyway, we cleanse a few rooms, and I tell my homegirl, I'm like, "All right, now you go clean some yourself." And she's like, the devil is a lie. No, we about to go together. And I said, no, listen, doggone, this is what you signed up for. You said you wanted the real stuff. Now this is the real stuff. And she said, negative. And I said, you want your money? She said, give me these herbs. I'm gonna go start cleaning some more of this house. And she went on about her business. And I hear her cleaning, and it get to the point, because the house is big, we're getting tired. We're seeing stuff running that she and you would thought we were chasing someone. Because, her name was Nicole. I'm like, Nicole, they're coming your way. And she's like, no, I see something coming. I'm like, what the hell? And then we look, doggone, we go up, flush everything down, go down, flush everything up. Now we're at the main part of the house. We ain't about to play these games. Did y'all hear something like fall behind me? But anyway, so we get to the kitchen. We've herded everything to the kitchen. It's at this point there's 3 people in this kitchen. There's me, there's Nicole, and there's the homeowner. That's it. But it felt, y'all, had we been blindfolded, it would have felt like we were in the club. But it felt like we were in the club. Like they were just stuff, just people everywhere, right? Now I forgot to tell y'all, I brought a coconut just on the off chance that there was something there. And if you in my Thursday class, remind me to tell you how I did it. But anyway, I made a couple of symbols and mainly crosses on the coconut, and it had a hole drilled into it. And we started walking clockwise I made a cross, kind of like a Congo cosmogram. Made a cross on the floor, set the coconut dead center, right? And we started walking clockwise. And the air was moving with us. Now, for this particular work, and you get it going, then you stop and then go back the other way. When we stop, I noticed the homeowner starting to get a little weird. She's on her knees and she's like doing this weird swaying thing. And she's babbling to herself. And I'm like, well, we almost done. And mind you, the coconut is on the floor and it goes. I'm like, okay, all right, I got you now, mother love, I got you now. Whatever you are, I got you now. And as when we start the counterclockwise phase, old girl, the homeowner, hops up and takes off running upstairs. And I tell Nicole, I said, you better get her. And she was like, what? I said, get her. And she was like, oh, took off. The reason I said that is because who knows what she was running upstairs to go get. If she's under the influence, recreational use, or spiritual, you don't know. For some reason, palm colored folks, whenever they under the influence of something, they be wanting to take people to the upper room. The upper room with Jesus. It don't matter what it is. Now we'll try something and be like, man, ooh, this got me feeling straight, shawty. They'll try something and say, the voices say I gotta delete 4 people. Like, absolutely not. Absolutely not. So, Nicole, now Nicole was not fat, but she ain't skinny either. She's, you know what I'm saying? So Nicole is gently yet assertively escorting her back down to where I am. We get the doggone thing. Look, just to shorten the story, right? The dang coconut twitches one time, spins around. I take a black candle, I melt the wax onto the hole, cork it up, right? And I'm like, look, listen. I was like, sweet Jesus. I'm like, it is done. It is done. And honestly, one thing is for certain, you will feel like the air will feel lighter. It's like you ever been in school in an old hot tail gym, and then the air comes on, and it's like the blast of cold air just hits you, and you like, that's what it felt like. That's what it felt like, y'all. No lie, that's what it felt like. So, and there's some parts of the story I left out because that's part of storytelling. You get into it, and then you're like, dang, I forgot to tell y'all this. But she's like, oh my gosh, I don't know what came over me. I feel so much better. The house feels lighter. Listen, like, look, I feel like, wow, why was I at this stove for so long? Now it just feels dumb that I was standing here. And you will find that a lot. Once whatever is gone, people will be like, why in the world was I even here? And then, she's like, oh my gosh, how can I ever thank you? And I'm like, hi, you can pay me now. And she did. And so I'm like, all right, cool. She's like, do you want me to make y'all something to eat? I'm like, oh, absolutely not. We about to go. You sure you don't want to just say, I mean, I feel like I've known you forever and we can just talk. And I'm like, we can just nod. I'm about to go. I got a boo-boo. We got to go. I forgot what we got to go. We leave, right? And I'm like, Nicole, right up the street, there was like a little shopping plaza. And we went to that shopping plaza and there was like a pizza joint. And we went into that pizza joint and was like, man. And she was like, is it always like this? And I said, no. So over the years, I've had time to digest exactly what was going on there and what was not. Okay. So she had not one teenager in the house, but 2. And teenagers are spiritual nuclear reactors. They have just so much energy in them that Any wayward spirit can latch onto that energy, and it's like plugging a battery in them. Okay, so there's that aspect. Couple that with the fact that one of them was dabbling in the occult. And remember, I told you that's the danger of dabbling, especially. And you know, there were pendulums out, and that's why I tell y'all, you throw that line out, you do not know what you're gonna hook. That was one part of it. The another part was there were some storms that ran through Atlanta, like caused a lot of flooding years ago. The whole city was flooded. Right? It was crazy. Well, and this part I forgot to tell y'all. I looked in the backyard, right? Because she had shown us her backyard during the tour. I forgot to mention that part. I apologize. There was this big rock with a flat top, and she said, "Yeah," and there were like felled trees everywhere. And right, see, you knock on the door, somebody gonna answer. And the storm and the water had knocked down a bunch of trees. The land had been blighted. It's almost as if the land had been pissed off. And there was this big rock. And she was like, yeah, the storm uncovered that rock. The rushing water had uncovered the rock. The rock had a bunch of melted candle wax and stuff on it. So, they were out here dabbling in something and they woke something up. And whatever it was got thrown into that coconut. Pat myself on the back, self high five, because it was pretty strong. Now, after effects, the house was fine. It was clean. She did she did tell me, and this is while me and Nicole were sitting at the pizza joint, right? And at that point, I was shoot, man, I done had about 3 natty lights, and it was up in Buckhead, so they were like, "You want a natural light?" I was like, "Shoot, yeah." It's like, "Would you want it in the can?" I said, "No." She said, "You want it in a glass?" I said, "No, man, bring me a can." And Nicole's, "I can't believe you drink them things." I said, "Phew, like water." So the lady called, and I recognized the number, and I'm looking at Nicole like, I ain't going back. I ain't going back. But I picked up, and she was like, I feel like, 'cause remember, she's palm color now, and my palm color folks, y'all know I love y'all. Y'all know I love me some. Y'all are often very happy and chipper and educational. Love my palm color people, but y'all can be extra too. And she was like, Papa Lou, I feel like it's wrong for me to have this being of the universe locked up in a coconut. It's like I'm enslaving him, and I'm like, well, crack the coconut, let him out. Go ahead. I'm going. Hey, he starts shutting your stuff off. That's gonna be another 300. Gonna be another 300. And she was like, and another thing. Now, when somebody on the phone with you and they start whispering, oh, it's about to be good. She said, another thing, is it normal for me to be sexually attracted to this coconut? And I said, do I want to tell the truth or do I want to go home? And I was tired because, I had dressed up. I wore a suit, wore a suit. And I said, I want to go home. I said, yeah, that's normal. That happens sometimes. Y'all, that's not normal. It's not. So the last component for that haunting was she had a little bit going on. A little bit. Because she was an artist. That's how she'd been able to afford. Oh, and another component was she remodeled that house. And when you go knocking down stuff and listen, and you have an entity there that still thinks that's their house, because Buckhead is old. Shoot, yeah, hey, yeah, that's what it is. All right, family, let me take a quick break because my nose is starting to stuff up. So let me go get my nose spray, and I'll be right back. Coco said she's a nut, just loopy. Lord have mercy. Look, y'all behave. I'll be right back. Let me go grab my nose spray, and we'll start tackling some questions. I keep clicking the wrong button. But anyway, y'all, something did not want me to tell that story because it's gonna be a little gross. But you know, sniff. You know how you nose of stuff you. There's blood up here, and I have no idea why. I have no idea why. Because I have this thing pumping out humidity, so that's not why. But anyway, listen, if you are enjoying the stream and you feel the need to sow a seed, you can do so. Nightbot will let you know how. But also, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Good content deserves viewership. Honestly, I just want to see if the little widget I have up there will move. Y'all know I'm always trying new bells and whistles. But anyway, let's get to a few questions and then I'll tell y'all another story. Y'all want to hear another story? Seek. Seek said, "Talk, preacher." Hey, man, I do my thug thizzle, do my best. Do my best. I know I saw a couple of questions while I was talking, and I was not ignoring you. I just know me, I would have lost my place. Okay, there's the one from Black Queen Genius 7, so I just scrolled down from this point. Crystal said, "Okay, I'm going in again on the juniper berries." Good. Mariah says, "Does fasting strengthen a working?" Sometimes. That's not an across the board thing. It really depends on the individual. Because for some people, fasting can weaken a working. Some folks, when they fast, they get into like a very calm, meditative state. Other people, if you just like cakes and cookies and whatnot, and that's all you focusing on, you won't be able to focus on the working. So that's an individual thing. Fasting does not trigger like a boost in spiritual energy in everyone. Okay. And Mariah also said, "I felt that way in a house I lived in." She's talking about the house that I cleansed. Well, I'm tell y'all some ghost stories about the house that I grew up in because I grew up in a haunted house, oddly enough. Hoodoo J says the house felt devoid of life. That is yes. Yes. Chosen spiritual and prophetic. How are you? Welcome to the stream. Booper man? Hello, Mr. Broken Prophet. You are the real deal because every time I watch you, somebody tries to interrupt me. You got kids? Because that's just gonna happen. If you got kids. Divine Aqua, hey Divine, what's going on? Said, "Now, Prof, you black. You know better." Which part? Because I violated the black code several times during that house cleansing because you got to do what you got to do, right? But yeah, I know. I, I, viol- I violated the black code a lot. Zero says, "Evening Prophet, hope all's well with you." What's going on? Zero says, "What do you think about people in the hoodoo space that do head work on their online community slash fan base? There's this creator that's honestly on IG, that's mostly on IG that I'm writing an expose on. I strongly value it and weigh your opinion." Somebody tell me what head work is. Y'all know I don't know these new school terms. What is head work? Oh, EUE Ava Bay hit the Cash App. I don't know why the alerts are not going on, but thank you so much, Ava, for hitting the Cash App for me. I greatly, greatly, greatly appreciate that. You are amazing. Somebody tell me what head work is. Hoodoo J question: What do you think about the book on Conjure by Hoodoo Sin Moist? Um, I don't. I've never met Hoodoo Sin Moist personally, never, and I know it's either him or somebody else that's done gone to the upper room. But in looking at the book, a lot of that is not hoodoo per se. It's um, New Orleans voodoo, and it's also marketeered. And that doesn't necessarily mean it's bad. It's just it's predominantly post emancipation work. Um, I I have to read it more, and then I'll what y'all know what I'll do. Get myself a note. I'm gonna get a copy of it, and then we'll do a Hoodoo book review on it. Okay, we'll do that because I don't want to lead you wrong. Hoodoo Jason Annabelle over there feeling inspired. Look, she been doing the most here lately. Let me go down here and see if somebody done answered. Let me see if y'all done answered the questions about what head work is. Hoodoo just I can unsubscribe and resubscribe if you want. You know I can't. I can't. Hoodoo J, don't buy your copy. Because what if I say it's garbage? Then the garbage book done had 2 copies sold. Come on, man. All right. Let's see. Hold on, y'all. Dang, I'm trying to see. Cherie said, I believe it's basically controlling work. Really, Seek is a big mixture of a lot of different things. You talking about head work, Seek, or you talking about Hoodoo Sim Moises' book? I'm gonna take a look at it. I have a Scribd account, so I'm gonna see if it's on Scribd. I'll thumb through it tonight for y'all. All right. Divine Aqua says sheets. I was thinking of doing home cleansing. Now I'm like, maybe not. Don't do home cleansings until you've got your I forgot we not on kick. Until you've got your fuzzy wuzzy screwed on tight. Cause they can turn out bad. They can turn out bad. Okay. Well, if it's controlling work, zero. If it's controlling work, um, what what is your issue with it? I guess if they're if they're trying to control and influence their fan base. You know, I guess you could look at it. Some people may look at it as I mean, when you grow a big enough community and you say, hey, everybody buy these sneakers, right? People do it that way. I think it's another means of getting to the same ends, but I don't know. Maybe if I hear your side of it. Maybe if I hear your side of it. See what these questions are. Yeah, I did. I was like, yeah, I got to boo boo. We got to go. All right. Let's see here. Yes, Southern Girl. I've told this story quite a few times over and I remember when I had my podcast, Nicole came on my podcast. Nicole came on my podcast. I could probably see if she would come now, but she probably won't. Because do y'all remember the story that I told a while ago about me and somebody in Atlanta was gonna ride down to a ceremony in Miami together, but the truck broke down, so I left them. Y'all remember that story? I just went to the airport. They got in the tow truck with their truck and went, and I like called a cab to the airport, rented a car, and drove on down. Y'all remember that story? Oh, the book Seek. Okay, because Nicole was the one I did. Nicole was the one I did that to, so she might not come back. She might not come back because that was Nicole that so she might not come on the show. She 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 was like, and I didn't even tell her. I didn't even tell her that 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 I went on down there. I just kind of like just poofed for the weekend. She's like, you just went on without me. I was like, oh man. But thanks for your help for that with that house cleansing. You really helped. All right. Back to the story. Back to the questions. I am Leisha says, how can you cleanse a person, and where is the info located on house cleaning? Now, y'all, here's the issue. If y'all ask me, y'all, what video was it where da 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 da? I have no idea. There's no rhyme or reason. There's just a million videos, and a lot of times what the title is ain't even what I talked about. Well, no. If it's a recorded video, then yes. If it's a live stream, who knows? So I can't tell you. I couldn't tell you. But if you go to www.trueconjure.com, you and I can have a class one on one. And Leisha, I actually do have a webinar on cleansing, so you can check that out. I think not this last one, but the one before we went into cleansings. Pretty good. We went into cleansings pretty good on that one. Now it says, what are workings I can do for healing and good health? You know what? If you brew bone set into a tea, and then you take 1 teaspoon a day for a month, that does give you a boost in health. And also, if you sprinkle it around your room, that and what is that? What is that other tea? It's the yellow one. The yellow flowers that smell so good. The yellow flowers that smell so good. What is that? God, I am drawing a blank. And I got a big bag of it because it smells great. I know the common name is marigold. The common name is marigold. So if you brew that, you get this really pretty yellow tea, and you sprinkle that around the house, and that is good for good health. Good health. Excellent for good health. All right. Ava said, "What's a harmless way to get rid of a stalker?" Ava, there is no harmless way to get rid of one. As someone who has had a stalker before, let me tell you, and let me tell y'all, if you watch, there's a whole documentary on stalkers on Netflix, and they actually interview the stalkers. Let me tell y'all, there's some folks out there. I mean, it makes you scared to date or interact, because it's like the world has already gotten to a point. If you break up with somebody now, you almost have to do an exit interview and have a group talk with them and their therapist. Have y'all noticed that you can't just like, peace? No, it's like, oh my God, I need closure. You're not giving me my closure. You all you did was gaslight me. You're a narcissist. I'm like, where all this come from? Back in the day, shoot, you could like not even know somebody's name. Nobody care. But God, everyone's just so upset now. But yeah, there's no harmless way. You really have to forcibly remove them. And I think I gave a working earlier that you can do. Like, take you a bottle. It's just an old bottle, and write their name 9 times on a slip of paper, and fill that bottle with cayenne pepper, black pepper, doggone sulfur. Just fill it up, cap it, then throw it in some water that's flowing away from you. I just saw a face. Yikes. Yeah. Okay, that was weird. Um, and let this person flow away. Wherever they land, that's on them. Because I'm telling you, stalkers, yikes. All right. The witchy fairy escapes. How do you stop a working done with smoke from a cigar blown at you or at your front door? Thank you. Just put mirrors up around your property. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised at how simple and effective that is. Shelyana says, what kind of spells get bully coworkers to leave you alone? Ask them to meet you outside as soon as you clock out. And if they be like, oh, then you got them. But if they be like, I bet that's what you do. You leave 2 minutes early. And when they bust out that door, ready to squabble, you hit them in the head with something. I want to hit them in the head. You beat them outside and sneak them. But I'll show y'all to do the work, and I just gave Ava. You'll be good to go. Joanne Bailey Matthews said, you came up in my algorithm. I was just watching a video from 6 years ago and then saw you were live. Timing is everything. Isn't it, though? Isn't it, though? Cherie, I was wrong. I probably was wrong. I had to get up out of there. I, I, I did. Radiance Worldwide, I did. I left Nicole. I shoot. I did. I left. Because I wanted. Look, we had to get to West Palm Beach from Atlanta. Do y'all know how long a drive that was? And she was already late, so I was already huffy. And then the truck gonna break down. Oh no, you no. Look, it's too much. That's too much. We gotta go. We gotta go. And then she gonna tell me. Look, and then she gonna tell me. And oh man. She's gonna be like, and I was gonna give you some too. And I was like, ah man, and that sucks. Well, but good thing is 8 billion people on this planet, so it'll come back around. And that's honestly, I'm not trying to make light of a situation, but you know what, y'all? People get so hung up, stalkers and everything. I think somewhere along the line with social media, a technology that was meant to unite us all has made us all so separate, right? It's made us all so separate that this is a technology where I'm able to connect with people across the globe because that's something we always dreamed of doing. See, a lot of y'all who are really young, y'all don't remember a time when you could not just reach out across the globe. There was a time when if I wanted to call a cousin in Alabama, we had to talk real fast because of how much it cost. So with that being said, the technology was supposed to unite us, but now people have long lists of friends. Don't know none of them. Nobody's checking on you. No one's seeing if you're okay. You get a bunch of mass texts for every holiday. Merry Christmas, you and 30 people. Doggone Happy Hanukkah, you and 87 folks. You know, whereas before it's like, hey, you would go see people every holiday. Family reunions, people don't even have them anymore. And it's, you know, so now we're all separated. So when we do feel connected to someone, we don't know how to go about it. We don't know how to go about it healthily. That's why it's so hard to end a relationship now because, everyone's just so weird. Just, I don't know. I remember back in the day, Lenny Williams, girl, I love you. And a glass of cognac and a Black and Mild healed many a broken heart. If y'all in the chat, y'all know what I'm talking about. Doggone, if it wasn't that, it was Ursher. After tonight, don't leave your girl around me, true player for real. I don't care if you were ugly and busted. Usher had you thinking, doggone, you ain't got to call. Because I'm going to be all right tonight. Me and my homeboys, we going to dance through the parking deck and doggone go pull something. Now, no one knows how to let go of anything. We need closure. If I say I don't want to talk to you no more, ain't that closed? But no, now I have to give you a dissertation, a PowerPoint, and everything about why I don't want to. What could we have done better? Like, man, I don't know. Man, chill out. Crystal Howard said, not a Black and Mild. Yeah, doggone it. Hey, if we broke up and I need to process it, eventually boys come check on me. I'm just sitting in the dark with a glass of cognac in my sweatpants, my wife beater, listening to music, and all you see is a little orange dot in the distance. Like that's how cause I got all the lights off. You just follow my voice, man. Follow my voice. Oh my gosh. But yeah, narcissism. Like, don't nobody just get played no more? Now, seriously, and I'm going to get back to the questions, beloveds, but don't nobody just get played no more? That's what used to happen back in the day. Like, oh, I really like you, But I wish I could talk to you, but my phone about to get cut off. And that yeah, back in my day, you just got played. You wanted something more than what was. You just got played. Now it's a narcissist. He made me think that he loved me when he really didn't. Man, back in the day, we say don't hate the player, hate the game. You learn from these experiences. You get stronger. You grow. Now we live in such a victim society. It's like no one ever learns from anything. It's just a bunch of people just gonna crowd around you and tell you how right you are and the yes queen you and stand in your truth. That's all you hear all the time. Gaslighting. People are just trying to make you feel like you're crazy. When a person Black Queen Genius says gaslighting is when a person intentionally makes you feel crazy. Well, what if you crazy? I shouldn't intentionally make you feel like how you acting when you done call my phone back to back 8, 11 times, which we used to do back in the day. You gonna pick up so I can hang up in your face. Y'all remember that childish mess we used to do? You blow up somebody's phone and they be like, "What?" Click. That's why I hate these things. Cause you can't do a good hang. Y'all remember back in the day, boy, it's like, you know what? Be snatch, slam. Cause you knew somewhere. But she was just like, yeah, ow. Cause you don't put your hands on nobody, but you give them a good clam. Bye, be snatch, clang. Now it's like, yeah, we'll bump you. It don't have the same effect. Yeah, well, screw you, bucko. Oh Lord, y'all don't cancel me. I'm just a grumpy old man. Don't cancel me, y'all. Y'all know I love y'all. Radiance Worldwide say it's too much. People need closure for friendships, family ships, situationships, relationships, everything. Like for real. Coco said I miss when they could hear you hanging up on them. Right now it just goes quiet. Like even the phones done got soft. It just like I was clam. You look, somebody need to come up with a hang up app, an app that makes you can make the sound effect of you hanging up. It's like you hit the button, just flap. You're like, God Almighty, it got me. Oh man, let's. I'm gonna tell another story, y'all. Then we going over the kick, and I'm gonna tell the rest of the stories there. Not Chris, Calendula. Hoodoo J got it. It was Calendula. That's what I was looking for. Calendula. Yep. That's what I was looking for. Sprinkle that around the house, and it'll keep you feeling strong. Were there any other questions? Were there any before I jumped on a doggone stood up on? Coco said just bang something on the table when you hanging up. Just yeah, slap click. Coco, the spirit of hoodoo runs through you, sister, because the practical answer is often the best one. Amen. All right. All right, so I'm gonna tell one more ghost story, y'all. Tell one more ghost story, then we're gonna go over the kick. Oh wait, here is kick link. https://www.kick.com/the. Okay. There we go. It is now pinned to the top. Okay. There we go. times are changing. They have changed. You know. Yes, thank you, Natalie. It's Kick, not Kik. Yeah, times have changed, y'all. I miss that. I don't particularly like the fact that they've changed the way they have. But what can we do? We evolve, we adapt, and we overcome. That's just what we're gonna do, right? Cheliana says, question: are the herbs on your money altar supposed to be burned? Not necessarily. Not necessarily. Because no, if you've got a fenugreek bowl, then no, you're definitely not gonna burn that. So no. People do it. People love doing a lot of burning. There's a lot of pyromaniacs in the online spiritual community. So let me see. Whew. I'm trying to see how to word this story, but I guess this is the only way. And now, after I tell this, we're gonna go over the kick. Y'all click the link. We'll go over the kick, and then we'll finish the stories and the Q&A. But so my grandma, she got to a point. My grandma had a stroke and had a heart attack as well. But she's still doing her thing. But she's like, we we still have to serve the community, do what we do. And she said, go check on Fanny. Fanny was like an old friend of my grandma's. And um went over there, go check on her. And I know Miss Fanny. She's a little old lady. Did what little old ladies back then did. Went to church, would just do her thing. But it was in my grandma's spirit that I go check on her. So I went to go check on her. Knock on the door, step back because you don't want to be too imposing. And that's something that I do. If I knock on your door, I take a step back because nothing worse. You come to your door and there's somebody like right there, make you want to get at them. So I'm like, hey, Miss Fanny. She's like, hey, little, hey. And I was like, Big Mama's, Big Mama was like, wanted to check on you. I guess you didn't pick up the phone when she called, and you know how she is. Well, yeah, how she's. I'm like, yeah, she's recovering, doing her thing. She said, yeah, well, I'm so glad you came around to check on me. My grandbabies don't come around, my babies don't come around. That's nothing, y'all. Check on your people. Check on your people. And she said, look, why you over here? Will you help me with something? I said, yes, ma'am, Miss Fanny. What can I help you with? She said, these two little kids been in my house for 2 days now, and they just will not go away. She said, at first they were outside the house and they were ringing the doorbell and knocking on the door. And when I come, they just run off. But now somehow they done found their way in here, y'all. Shoot, just telling the story right now. And I said, Miss Fanny, you feeling? She said, yeah, well, I feel fine. Why you ask? She said, I know you probably think I'm crazy, but look, they right here. And she went into the house, and I'm like, Miss Fanny, she said, come in here and look. They up under the bed. And she got down. She was still a spry little old lady. She got down and all fours and lifted up the bed skirt and was like, see, you come out from up under there. I see you. Come out from up under there. And I went, and y'all, I put my hand on the Bethlehem. I ain't gonna lie. I put my hand on the Bethlehem. And I looked up under the bed. And no, I did not see anything. It was just a bed, a couple of shoe boxes. It was the middle of the day, so there was adequate light. Just a bed. But for a split second, I felt like something was looking back at me. And I said, Miss Fanny, I don't see anything. And then she said, You don't? Because I could have swore I just saw them. Then she looked too. She said, no, I be dang, they gone. She says, a little boy and a little girl. And I said, well, you want me to walk through the house? She said, no, I'm pretty sure they gone now. She said, but I'll let you know. I said, all right, Miss Fanny. So I said, well, if you need anything, you go ahead and call. She said, all right, I will. Thank you for checking on me. I said, yes, ma'am. Left. I felt like I was being watched, right? Definitely got the heebie jeebies. Got back to Big Mama's house and told her what was going on. No, at that point, Big Mama was staying with us. Um, Big Mama looked at me and said, she ain't gonna never get rid of them babies. She deleted them a long time ago, and they gonna haunt her to the end of the time. All I could do is just get them to leave her alone sometimes, but I knew they'd be back directly. My blood ran cold. I never asked Big Mama what she meant by deleting them. My mom kind of hinted that it was, sometimes when we aren't ready for kids, we will have procedures. That's what my mom hinted at. But Big Mama probably would have said that. And and that's that. That's Miss Fanny and them ghost kids. We knew a lot of officers. Back in the day, you know, beat cops would just walk around. We knew a lot of officers. And Miss Fanny was on their list of people that when they call 911, it's a crazy person. They call them Signal 24s. It's a crazy person. A couple of them could have sworn they saw little kids running away from Miss Fanny's house when they were pulling up. If they decide to go at all, because a lot of times they just won't go. They'll ride by. Just okay. So that's Miss Fanny and the Ghost Kids. Mm, that's rough. All right, y'all. Give y'all a quick break. I'll come back. We'll end the stream and then we'll go over the kick. All right, family. Be right back. All right. Listen, you guys have been amazing. You guys have been amazing. We are going to go over to kick. Rosa said your camera went out of focus. It did. Whew. I am Leisha says working in the nursing home, them elders, they do see a lot. They do see a lot. Sometimes it's, you know, sometimes it's end time and a lot of medication. Other times it is not. All right, so guys, the link to kick. Did somebody check that link for me? Somebody check that link for me, please. Just to make sure it does send people over to Kick. And guys, if you feel the need to sow a seed, then Nightbot has my seed sowing information in the chat. Nightbot has my seed sowing information in the chat. Is that too bright? Trying to set the ambiance, set the mode. All right, so when we go over to Kick, we're gonna continue the Q&A, and you guys can absolutely ask me your questions about workers that you may know, stuff like that. 6, I bought a house with a lot of land with the help of Prophet Lou, and if I were him, I would have never, I wouldn't. He's the truth and the truth. I appreciate it, see. Link is good. All right, cool. Cool. Somebody sowing a seed. All right, thank you so much, Willia. Thank you so much for the Cash App. I do appreciate it. All right, guys. So the link works. I'm gonna shut down this stream, go right over to Kick, and we're gonna keep it going. And I'm gonna tell you guys some stories about the house I grew up in. The house I grew up in. Okay. So, all right, y'all follow me over there. I want to see everybody. All right, Prophet out.